Guys, we're live, man. What's up, man? Two main man here, double to that, man. Double to that flipping H, man. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got stuff on the docket, and I have my super Malta. Guys, remember, this is the second greatest drink of all time. The first, of course, being Malta Guinness. This is the second greatest drink of all time. So, let's get down to it. So, let's deal with the first headline. Remember, guys, this is all about transfers, news stories, but also as well, this is a chance for you to come and interact with me because we're going to be talking all football. This is going to be a football thing. And let's just see how far we go. I'm going for maybe half an hour, but let's just see how well we go. So I'm going to just go down the road to see what's happening. Remember, guys, so just give up the shout out. Follow me on Twitter at HelpfulPot. Follow me on Instagram. I don't know what the handle is. Remember, you can subscribe to exclusive videos by being a patron, where you're giving more videos, comments, reviews, insights, and so forth by more extra analysis videos on the Patreon channel. What else am I missing out on? And yeah, man. Hopefully, some new exciting things to come. I'm hoping to do more Hope Meets Banter stuff, and combined with the banter show, we want to really try and actually nullify and recrystallize that to make sure that it is much more as one. So let's start with this right now. So Benzema to AC Milan. That's what we're hearing right now. Because I thought I'd be focusing on this whole Real Madrid thing, but then just before, because as I was preparing the criteria, I saw Benzema to AC Milan. And what's going on at Real Madrid? Is this a total revampulation? Because I think this is good. And let me just be clear about Benzema. Benzema is a brick for Real Madrid. He's one of the finest bricks we have for Real Madrid. Benzema for France is a different player. Trust me, if Benzema was in that French team, they walk the World Cup. They literally walk the World Cup. They would completely and totally walk the World Cup. But he's a brick for Real Madrid, and I think if he is leaving for Real, I just think what it is that this is a sign of intent, and even more so, this just connects with the second story, which is Hazard and Real Madrid. But with regards to AC Milan, I think this would be a great spy. There is still quality in what Benzema does, and if AC Milan can get Benzema in that team and buy a few other players, some other interesting attacking. I think if they have like a nice, good attacking wide man, I think AC Milan could very sneakily do something that make things very interesting in this area. So I think it's a quality buy for AC Milan because, as let me just reiterate myself, Benzema is a quality player. He's a quality player in and of himself, but the Real Madrid thing, what he was turned into, just didn't really suit him that much. But let's now talk about Real Madrid and Hazard. It is a developing story, and it's a story that refuses to go away. So at the moment, what I read is Real are readying a £112 million bid for Hazard. They're getting ready to make a bid. I expect that to be rejected by Chelsea. Chelsea are going to reject 112. But this now knows that, okay, they intend to go for him. I'll say to you guys, Real Madrid are not going into a new season with Bale. Nah, that's not happening. They're not going into a new season just with those dudes. They're coming in with something. They're getting at least 3 signings. One of which is a main signing. It's a main signing. And I told him, man, I will reiterate myself. I'll be very, very surprised if Eden Hazard is still a Chelsea player next season. It's just being real. Just being real. I'm sorry I've got to break it to my ex-wife. It's being real. How do you keep one of the best players in the world and all you can offer is Europa League? Makes no sense. So I think this is definitely going to be the story that will dominate this summer. I think the Cristiano thing, happened sort of during the World Cup and everything, so it didn't really It wasn't really a summer thing, even if it was a big move. I think this is really going to take us up until the beginning of the season because I think Real Madrid 100% the one Hazard in a Real Madrid jersey before the La Liga season starts. They want him before the La Liga season starts. Chelsea can survive without Hazard, but it's going to be very difficult. Now, if Hazard left and Conte was still manager, forfeit. Forfeit. But Hazard going and it's with Sarri, who knows? It's just very possible. What's to say? Fabinho wants to convince Mbappe to join Liverpool. Um, Weird. Mbappe is not touching Liverpool. Mbappe is a World Cup winner. He's not touching Liverpool Football Club. Damien Pandem all the way. Don't mess with me. I don't play with my Nigerian food. Um, and what was I saying? So I'm seeing here also. So Vinicius Junior. I actually remember when Real Madrid were actually announced that they wanted to sign him, but they didn't do it officially. But now this guy, Vinicius Junior, he's now officially a Real Madrid player. And you know what I say about the stuff, man? I'll be real. If I see a Brazilian, an actual core Brazilian guy, and he's young, bro, I'm excited. So I told him, man, it's all right. We have to get away from this era. I'm always about in with the new, out with the old. And I just think that when I'm looking at this Vinicius Junior, this is guy like 18 or 19, that's huge. And it's already I'm already very excited because I saw clips of some of the stuff that he can do. So I'm very, very excited to what he can do when he comes to Real Madrid. So I just think that'll be very, very exciting. Um, Atletico want Giroud. Shivansh Green, I think he's like a Chelsea dude or something. He said like, "Oh, don't respect Giroud, blah blah," and was listing me all the things he has done, like Puskas winner, four times FA Cup winner, World Cup winner. Stefan Givash is a World Cup winner. What the hell does that mean? Are you going to mention Stefan Givash in the same sentence as debt? Sorry, no, sorry. Are you going to mention Stefan Givash in the same sentence as debt? But he's a World Cup winner. So what? So what do accolades mean? They mean nothing. So all right, guys, let's see what we're saying. Remember, guys, if you want a shout out and you want me to desperately ask your question, there's a question you desperately want me to address, hit the super chat because the super chat is how I am best able to read your question and be able to set it apart from all of the questions. Because again, there are lots of guys commenting, lots of messages, so I will not be able to answer everything. So, let's see what you guys are saying. That was a joke by Fabinho. It's better be a joke. Okay, it's better be a joke. Like if that was real, then then it would be very. I mean that better be a joke. Now this is interesting. At Chelsea winning the Europa League. Now I was having a conversation with Drifty from the Football Banter Show, and Drifty, in his infinite wisdom, you know how he likes to say things. He believes that Chelsea are going to win the Europa League, and my thing is based on what? Because his thinking was that you won't have a lot of amazing teams in the Europa League and so forth, and you wouldn't really have the situation you had last season where you had like Napoli, Dortmund, Atletico, all pretty much crashing down and joining the Europa League. But my thing about this is that what if Inter Milan don't go all the way through? And the fact of the matter is that you will still have quality teams in the Europa League once we now go into the second round of the Champions League. And it's a new team. Like it doesn't matter what. Did Emery win the UEFA Cup when it was called the UEFA Cup in his very first season with Sevilla? Did he? I don't think so. So this thing is a process, and the Arsenal team and the players around him are very different. So from the Arsenal, I mean, are they? Maybe they're one of the favorites so forth, but I will not really put them. I will not put them out and out favorites. Sorry, I can't do that. I cannot put them as out and out favorites. I just think that there are other teams who have a better idea of what they're doing have been together a lot longer. That I'll put money on them before I put money on your boys Arsenal. But it is not out of the realm of possibility for Arsenal to win the Europa League because again they have quality players and they have a quality coach who actually understands tactics. You know, so when you have quality players and a quality coach and they actually understand tactics, you know what? That is definitely a recipe of something that I can go the way. But look, you can't come out and say Arsenal can. I'll just straight up winning the Europa League. That's just madness, man. Um, look, what's this say? Is look, I'm not answering that, bro. Obama, really? Aubameyang or Kane? You see, for me, look, I accepted. Like, you know what? After that Tunisia game, I accept that. You know what, Harry Kane, I'll give you world class status. I'll give it to you. I'll give you the world class status, Harry Kane. But he was trash. Harry Kane was crap at the World Cup. Like when you just look at his performance overall, not just in one game overall, he was crap. Like complete and utterly garbage. I think they had the second or third lowest shots on target England. You know, what I mean, he literally was non-existent in the semi, in the quarter, and then in the quarterfinal, and even in the second round. All he did against Colombia was score that penalty. And for me, with this Aubameyang, man, look, the guy is a cool, but a goal scorer, and you've seen him do it at Dortmund. He saw the G's he was getting for Arsenal already, a new team, and he only joined them in January. For me, I just think that Aubameyang is I mean the guy's a bad finisher, and I think Aubameyang has more in his finishing repertoire. You know, I've seen him do chips, I've seen him do finesse shots, I've seen him do long range shots. I've seen him have different kinds of finishing, and I just think that for Aubameyang, he's more malleable. You know, like even between Aubameyang and Kane. Oh, I mean, I'm going for Aubameyang all day, every day. I'm going for Aubameyang all day, every day. Um, nah, Icardi is not going to Real Madrid, man. He's not going to Real Madrid. But let's throw it out there. If Real Madrid knock up next season with Icardi as striker and Hazard as number 10, with Isco and Bale, that's a very interesting team. That's a really interesting team. If you can give me that, Hazard, Icardi, Bale, Isco, that's a very interesting team. You know, that is a very, very interesting team. So that's what I'm saying. Pogba, Cristiano at Juve, Champions League. Man, I tell you right now, man, Pogba is very smart pushing for a Juventus move. And let me even double down and just say what I mean, refer to the video that I put out because again, I understand. That's why I had it a few thumbs and United fans would be pissed off, and I think if you're a United fan, of course you'd be pissed off. But I'm not a United fan. I'm a football analyst, and my job is to tell the truth and the truth of the matter. Not my opinion. The truth of the matter is that Pogba will not flourish at United, and if Pogba is smart, push for a move to Juventus. I think PSG would be a sexy move for him. You know, Pogba imagine a midfield of Pogba and Verratti, and Pogba is supplying balls to Neymar and your boy Mbappe. PSG would be crazy. PSG would be crazy next season. But Pogba Juventus would be mad. Imagine Pogba and Cristiano in the same team, and Pogba and Cristiano combining. Imagine them on the break. So look, if I'm Pogba man, you could be part of two really sexy teams. United are not sexy, man, because you've got a manager who is completely and totally restricting the team and holding them back. So Nah, man, this is not happening, man. Remember, guys, man, hit your ball up with the super chats, man. Hit you with the super chats if you want to get any key questions answered, man. Um, H, I'm just curious to see what will Klopp do if he had a team with so superstars. No, it would be interesting. But you know what? It's one of those weird things that I bet you that if Klopp was the manager of PSG, for instance, he may not be as successful as he is with Liverpool. I think the thing with Klopp is that he needs specific players, and they don't specifically have to be world class. He just needs specific players that do particular things. And if those players specifically do particular things, I think that he's all good because he plays a very specific way. So even if you give him a team of like three, four, five superstars, but they don't run, they're not attacking, they're not energetic, they don't do the Geigen press in the way that it's supposed to be done, then the team won't be effective. So I think Klopp's success comes from having players that buy into his ethos and his mentality. And if players don't buy into that ethos or mentality, it ain't gonna rock, baby. It ain't gonna rock. Um, if Hazard joins, Bill Asensio will leave for Chelsea in a swap deal. Let's be real. Asensio, perhaps. You really think Real Madrid are gonna swap Bill for Hazard? Come on, man. Let's be real. But okay, let me. If I'm Real Madrid, do I swap Bill with Hazard? Do I give Chelsea Bale and do I keep and then do I get Hazard in return? No, no, that's not a good deal for me. I need Bale and Hazard on the same team. I'll give you Asensio. I may consider Isco. I can't give you Bale because if Hazard, Isco, Asensio, that's too lightweight. I need a heavy hitter. Like Bill is a heavyweight kind of guy, you know, and you need a heavyweight kind of guy. Like Hazard is world class, but he's a lightweight world class kind of guy. Like no, he's tops, but you need that a tough dude who can really be big time. And in a big game, I mean, look at Bill's goal in that the Champions League final. Come on, man. Look at the guy's flipping goal. So, right, what else are you guys saying? Uh, yeah, what's it called? Douglas Costa, man. I will argue with this. I don't, Professor, there isn't a winger better than Douglas Costa. And Douglas Costa might be the best winger in the world because I can't think of a better winger. Perisic isn't better than him. I'm looking for as a pure wingers. Dembele isn't better than him. Pulisic isn't better than him. Because for Douglas Costa, it's his dribbling, and just the scary thing that if you're a defender against Costa, he does things so quickly, and he's still the thing about it is that he does things so quickly, and he's still under control. Do you know how hard that is to do? To move the ball around very quickly, very sharp, but you're still in full control of the ball and what you're doing. Because other players, they can do all the shimmies and go very fast and they just lose the ball. Costa, he's never out of possession of the ball. He's never out of control of the ball. So which means that it is extremely hard for a defender to tackle him without fouling him. It's very difficult because he just moves the ball so quick, so quick. It's very hard to even know where the ball is. No, Costa is a I mean, you know what? I'd argue to say that that's one of the dumbest moves in football. Like for me, I still rank one of the dumbest moves was Barcelona selling Eto. I still think that's probably the dumbest move, like Barcelona trading Eto with Ibrahimovic. But I say second dumbest move was Bayern selling Douglas Costa. Like it's made no sense whatsoever. You you never. sell a dude like Douglas Costa. Like you just never do. That is crazy. It's complete and also madness, man. Um, this is interesting. Am I the only one who thinks Cristiano will flop at Juve? You know what? It's funny that you say that because I think there is this notion and this assumption that he's gonna be amazing, he's gonna be huge, he's gonna score a ton of goals and everything. Because the issue isn't about whether Juventus can win the Serie A, because that's also already in the bag. Like Juventus are going to win the next three, four, five Scudetto titles until they really change how things operate there. But what if he's getting old? That's what I'm saying. What if he is getting old? You just never know. He could be getting old. Um, Shout out to Zachary Kurtz. Shout out to Zachary Kurtz. Thanks for the super chats, bros. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the super chats. Remember, guys, hit your boy up with a super chat, man. Hit your boy up with a super chat. Zachary Kurtz, bless your soul, man. Now that is a trigger one. Lukaku versus Kane. Lukaku versus Kane. I'd still say Kane. I will still say Kane because I think when Lukaku becomes a brick, like he really becomes a brick. Like when Kane is a brick, he's a brick, but not to the same extent as Lukaku. Like when Lukaku is a brick, I mean, he's like this guy. He takes brick into a whole new level. As in, like he can't control basic balls. He's awkward. He's just like literally just lumbering around and everything. So when I mean, when Lukaku is a brick, so I'll take Kane. I'll take Kane. For me, I mean, people keep saying about this whole Mbappe Real Madrid thing. PSG are trying to win the Champions League, and PSG have just seen one of their players light up the World Cup. Scored 4 goals, including a quality goal. I just watched the goal again. A quality goal in the World Cup final. He's 19. In what stratosphere do PSG let him go? Because PSG are like, oh my God, we possibly could have the next great player in our hands. Possibly. He may not be him. He may flop for the next 2, 3 seasons. But as of right now, that is one guy who is literally not for sale. For 300, like, there is no amount of money that you will offer me that I will sell Mbappe for. Nothing. Because of his age, his potential, what he's already done at a World Cup. I'm like, nah, sorry. So that's why Real Madrid are not even considering placing a bid for him. And their focus, understandably, is on Hazard because Hazard is a move that definitely needs to be made. But a swap deal, nah, man, you can't have a swap deal. But Buffon used to be a great goalie. Is Buffon a great goalie now? I'm not too sure. I think he's been on the decline now. Is he better than Areola? Let's see because yeah, I mean let's be real. Did PSG need to buy Buffon? Something was just a marketing move. It's a legend, a guy that's known because I said to myself, wait a minute, just as far as like a footballing this decision, why are you buying him? It just I mean that just doesn't really make much sense to me, man. Um so yeah, so Zachary Kurtzman, thanks again for the super chat. Let's see what he's saying. Sorry. Um what about Atletico having the best transfer window, replacing bricks like Gaetan and Carrasco with Lamar and Martins? Um, you see, first of all, Carrasco is a full on brick and an embarrassment. But Zachary, Lamar and Martins, I think I wouldn't. Those are not massive names, but I think what it is, and I think what Simeone does, he just buys the right players. He doesn't buy huge, massive, big names. these are just players who can come into to the core. So I think with Martins and Lemar, it's a bit of flamboyancy to the regionals. Remember, they lost Gabi as well. I think that went under the radar. Gabi, I believe, went to Qatar. It's crazy amount of players that are basically cashing about. So Gabi went to Qatar. So I'm not sure who they're going to get to really replace him because he's a key guy. So I think for Atletico, I would say their transfer window has been functional. Not great has been functional. Liverpool still have won it fully. But let me just say, because people have been talking about this Lemar guy a lot, and I think remember at one point Arsenal were wanted to bid like about 90 million for him on like the final day of the transfer window. So but Atletico for me always strike me as guys who they buy smart. They don't just buy anybody willy nilly because they have such a specific system that they will only buy players who they feel can really be part of the system. So I'm surprised that they would go for Lamar and Martins. But yeah, man, let's see what they can do because I think Atletico definitely need more flamboyancy because I think that flamboyancy and those individual players who can try and change the game is how they'll beat a Barcelona. Because I think what's missing from them and Barcelona is Barcelona just have those game changers. Atletico would always compete against Barcelona. They always keep it tight. But what will always swing it in Barcelona's favor is they have the game changers. So I think Atletico needs some of their own game changers as well. So yeah, thanks for that question there, bro. Mohammed, no, just listen to the Joe Budden podcast and thank me later. Um, yeah, look, man, Juventus in the Champions League, man, 100% they're one of the favorites. I mean, even without Cristiano, you'd always put them in as dark horses or one of the guys who possibly realistically have a chance of winning it. But I think with Cristiano now, man, they have a much more of a greater chance. I think they have a greater chance of winning it because again, he's such a proficient goal scorer. And once you have a guy who is such a beast at scoring and has been pivotal in the important to pivotal in the Champions League victory so far, man, you've just got to give a shout out. You have to just give a shout out and say, no, 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 man, no, man, this guy has really, ridden man and really done his thing. So for Juventus, I still think they need two or three more players. If Juventus rock up next season and they have Pogba in that team, they've got Marcelo in that team with Cristiano, I'll put them as strong favorites for the Champions League. I'll put them as strong because I'm thinking of Allegri's tactical ability. I'll put them in and as a strong favorites. Um, Rebic, I really liked Rebic at this World Cup. I really liked him. I mean, he's definitely a player who can improve, um, be more efficient whenever he has the ball. 'Cause sometimes he just makes poor decisions, i.e., losing the ball when you don't need to lose the ball, finding space. But I just think that as far as his dribbling, how he can turn the man as well, and I like it just how this guy gets his head down and he just goes straight. So there's a lot of bravery. He's not. I think he's a guy who is not phased at all by the big stage. Like there's something very 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 Eastern European about him, and the guy is skilled. So I think with the right coaching, he could be an extremely useful winger. Like if I was a team, I didn't have a winger, I'll be like, man, I'm looking at a Rebic man, and I'll just develop his dribbling because I think that guy is a really good dribbler. Because I think what I like about his dribbling is it's very close control. Because there are guys who dribble straight and want to just get past you and basically use speed. He doesn't really use speed to beat you. It's like real control driven dribbling where he already cutting. And I like that kind of movement. So look, as I said again, I think City are favorites for the Premier League. I'm going to do it like a Premier League preview coming soon, and it's going to be very hard for me to look past Man City right now. It's going to be hard for me to look past Man City right now. Liverpool look interesting. Um, United, I fear for United. I'm sorry, like I'm so United fan, man, but I truly fear for you guys because I don't really. I mean, Fred is that it? Fred? Oh, you played with Rebic. Oh, interesting. Also, Rocky Balboa, you used to play some Croatian football. Interesting, man. That's pretty cool. Um, Biggest bricks in the Premier League. Does Janssen still play for Tottenham? I don't think he still does. Biggest bricks in the Premier League. Herrera can sometimes veer off into brickness. I still think Giroud is a brick. I think everyone says Ozil can sometimes become a brick. 100% without a shadow of a doubt. Mustafi is a brick. Mustafi is probably one of the biggest bricks in the Premier League. So those are the ones that really come out to me right now. Um, Rebic. I don't understand. Rebic is garbage based on what exactly, bro. Um, Jason Statham is not the greatest actor, man. That's no. Um, well, the Euros is a long way away, man. But if Belgium keep Martinez, I suppose Henry is gonna join and become a coach for someone else. But I think if they keep Martinez, Belgium, I think I'll put Belgium as the clear favorites for the Euros. I think they just came across a very determined French team. But who knows? I think if France were to play Belgium again and at the Euros, I think Belgium will be much more determined. Maybe Belgium will be able to get the better of them. It was a close game. It was a very, very, very close game. And Belgium just blinked first and France got the goal. But I think Belgium look quality. They look quality as well. I think maybe what is missing from Belgium is that character and personality because they are supremely talented. But I think that maybe they just assume that they are because that's not how top level football works. Your talent alone isn't enough to win a World Cup, or a Euros or something. You need something extra, and that something extra comes from your personality and your character and your graft and how much you're willing to really dig deep and really be able to um, affect the game in a positive way. So um, look, I still defend me what I said about France not going to be doing anything, man. So um, now that's interesting. Mahrez or Sterling? I think you have to initially start with Sterling, but you know what? Sterling's going to come under some real pressure from Mahrez. And the thing about this is that I think it's dependent on who City are playing and how Pep wants to play because Mahrez is very different from Sterling. I think Mahrez is a guy who is more static, likes to have more time on the ball, and likes to cut in and really trying to play those diagonal balls with his left foot or shoot on his left foot. Sterling is much more forward moving, much more speedier. He likes to move forward with the ball and makes those quick runs like that. So that's very different from Mahrez's game. So which is why it is interesting because you have two very different players. So if Mahrez is starting, that changes how City will attack. And if Sterling starts, that changes how City will attack. So I just think so. For instance, I think if City are playing a very defensive team, you roll with Mahrez. If they're playing a team that's very attacking, that plays a high line where it leaves open for them to counter them, then definitely play Sterling. So um, it just it just depends on who you prefer. Um, who wins if Barcelona meets Juve in the semi-finals? that'll be a tough one. I mean, that'll be tough because I think Juventus they look really strong. But again, I said right now, I think Messi is going to be really angry next season. You know, because I think I mean him flopping on the World Cup, Argentina flopping, the issues with Sampaoli, I think Messi has a lot of anger in him, and I think he's going to really unleash that anger next season. So don't be surprised if this dude hits like 2 or 3 hat tricks in the first 5, 6 games of the season. Do not be alarmed at all, because if it does, it's like yeah, I expect that because I think this guy's going to be very angry, and I think he's really coming out for blood. And an angry Messi is a very dangerous Messi. I think a Messi who really wants to prove himself and really wants to just take out his frustration on the pitch is a very, very dangerous dude. But again, I think that's why the whole thing about who will win in the semi, we need to see what the team looks like come the end of the window, because that's very key. Because I think Barcelona maybe make a few more signings. Juventus are definitely looking to make a few more signings. So, as I said again, Juventus as of right now, they're good. But Cristiano alone isn't enough to win a Champions League. And I think Cristiano alone isn't enough to stop Messi, the Cannibal, Coutinho, Dembele. Like those are some heavy hitters, man. But again, you give me Marcelo, you give me Pogba with Costa there already as well with Dybala. Then we now have like a potential classic game. Um, Thoughts on Liverpool title challenge? Yeah, Liverpool have to mount a no. Well, they have to mount a title challenge. Will they do it? I think so. I think so. I think Fabinho and Keita gives them more steel and more personality, and I think a greater presence. And as I said again, I think if Liverpool don't win a trophy next season, that would be a complete and abject failure. A complete and abject failure. They have to win at least one trophy next season. They have to win at least one trophy next season. But the team is looking good. Like I won't lie, the team is looking good, man. The team is looking good. Um, what the fuck? Wait, yeah, Nacho signing with Sheffield Wednesday. That's a lie, man. Don't nah. Adage, man. That's a bloody nah. Can't say for Ballon d'Or. I think that's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think him having the stomach bug in the World Cup final, I think that definitely harmed him. You know, that definitely harmed him. I think if Kante had a big game at that World Cup final, I think he would have a very, very good argument. But I think as of right now, I'm still rolling with Dritch, man. I'm still rolling with Dritch because I'm still saying that because people say, oh, how good was Modric for Real Madrid during the season and so forth. You take Modric out of Real Madrid, they're not touching a Champions League. It's as simple as that. You take Modric out of Real Madrid, they're not touching a Champions League. So Modric was crucial because it's not about him getting assists or goals. His very presence, how he keeps the ball, and how he really gets Real Madrid to control games helps facilitate them scoring goals and creating chances. So your central midfielder is extremely vital for winning games. Look at Argentina, who didn't have a flipping midfield. If you're rocking up with not with no midfield or a weak midfield, there's very very little you can do. Look at how strong France's midfield were of Kante, Matuidi, and Pogba. Look at Real Madrid's midfield of Casemiro, Cruz, and Modric. Those are strong midfields. If you have a very strong midfield, your team is very, very dangerous, people. All right. What do you think about England moving forwards into the Euros? Um, I think Southgate, for me, Southgate needs to play Loftus Cheek more, and I think he needs to get Wilshere some. I think their midfield was thin. I think once it really came down to it, Henderson got exposed. You can't go into a tournament with Henderson as your main midfielder. You're crazy. Henderson Henderson is a side man. He's not a main man. He's a side man, and I think England need a midfielder who's creative with a lot of presence. And somebody who can bring the ball forward and can get a through ball that can really create. Because if you have somebody who can thread balls into Sterling, can attract players, thread balls into Sterling, into Kane, into Lingard, into Loftus-Cheek, into Rashford, then that's what's happening. But I think England in the current state, I'm not sure whether they're enough to actually go to Europe. They're enough to compete, as they did against Croatia, but to go all the way, they need something more. Who is more talented between Ronaldinho, Messi, and Ronaldo? As far as talent, I keep saying Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and I'll say Messi. That's just for talent, as in, I mean, it's arguably Ronaldinho because Ronaldinho is one of the most talented guys of all time. Coleman. Do you mean Coleman or Coleman? Say Coleman to Arsenal. Who the hell is Coleman? Yeah, Balogun is a brick. He's 100% a brick. Wow, man, I don't even want to read and confirm the new story of Kelechi going to Sheffield Wednesday. That's just too messed up to even think about. Really? That's so sad, man. That's also wait. World Cup 2022 contenders. So let's just use this from 4 years' time. I still think Brazil may be in there. France for sure, because guys will still be in their prime age for France. Belgium possibly. So Belgium, France, Brazil. I think if Argentina revitalize themselves, I think Argentina for sure. And I think that's it. I think Uruguay, the Cannonball and Cavani will be too old. Argentina, it's just dependent on the situation that they have, whether they actually bring in younger guys. Although if Argentina now if Argentina hires Simeone or Pochettino, maybe that could help. Yes, I watch Game of Thrones, but I prefer thingy. Igal, buying I'm not buying Igalo. Trust me. Okay, buying I'm not buying Igalo. There's no way that has happened. Who's more impactful of football, Cruyff or Beckenbauer? Probably Cruyff. Probably Cruyff, based on the books he wrote, and the whole tiki taka comes from him. And tiki taka ruled for 3 tournaments. So what the hell can you say? As I said again for Klopp, man. You can't keep losing finals. You can say it's unlucky, it's only one game and everything, but the fact of the matter is that you cannot keep losing finals. And if Liverpool next season, by the end of next season, they don't have a trophy, that's a total and complete failure. That is a total and complete failure. If they come up next season and they don't have a flipping trophy, that would just be a complete embarrassment. Complete and utter embarrassment, because with the players that you've bought, I expect you to win something. You've spent the money wisely. So I expect you guys to win something. Super mods, guys, is the only way to apply. What are you boys saying, bro? Yeah, Barcelona trying to sign Willian. I'm not sure whether Willian fits into Barcelona. I don't think it works. I really don't. Yeah, I don't see how that works at all, man. I don't see it. I really don't see it, because I just think Barcelona's instance of keeping possession of the ball, they're not that quick when they attack. Everything revolves around Messi. I don't think that's Willian's game. I think Willian's game is more expansive, more quicker. The ball is moved quicker. There's more spacing, less dependent on shots, 2 5-yard passes. Hence why I just think Willian, I'm not sure how well he would work in the Sarri system, and I don't think he will work in the Barcelona system. I think he just needs a team that is far more attacking. I think William, to maybe a degree, might work at Man City. I think he may probably work at Arsenal. Like, look, I don't know that whether he would, but see, if Arsenal were able to get Willian, that would be a huge buy. That would be a really huge buy because I think Willian would flourish in that Arsenal system that I think Emery will have. So what's been happening with Storage? That's what I want to know, man. I mean, because I saw him trending. Does he still play? Because I saw Storage, man. I still say that guy is still a very talented football player. I'll still affirm and say he's a very, very talented football player. So, Stephen Moore, hi. What's up, man? See, Spain, man. I think the thing with Spain, because I put out a little video on the Partner channel about Spain at a crossroads, because Spain needed to decide what they want to be, and I think I was watching Guillem Balagues. He's the Spanish reporter, and just about he was saying, what, and this was after they lost against Russia. Spain needs to decide what kind of philosophy they want. If you want to keep with tiki taka and the whole passing thing, Diego Costa can't be in the team. There's no point in having Diego Costa in the team. But if you want Diego Costa in the team, you have to be more direct, and you've got to pretty much abandon the whole tiki-taka thing. And do you really want to forego one of the best strikers in the world? Because Diego Costa is one of the best strikers in the world. You saw that in that amazing goal that he scored against Portugal, which was a complete solo goal. So do you want to forego that? I don't know, man. I don't know. So that's why I just think, man, it's like it's I think they should change their philosophy, because I think you have a brilliant striker like Costa, use him. And you look at guys like Asensio, who are much more direct. I think a direct way of playing is I think that for me that's the way ahead, bro. Is probably the worst manager of all time. Nah, that goes to Dominic. Raymond Dominic is the worst manager of all time. So let's just say Klopp the flop. Now that's harsh, man. Cause it rhymed. Coman to Arsenal would be good. If Arsenal got Coman, that would be good, man. Willian Martial swap deal. If Willian goes to United and Martial goes to Chelsea, Chelsea win that swap. Even if I think Willian is still a good buy for United, like, let me be real. Like, I mean, Willian is a good buy for United, but Martial, nah, man. I mean, like, Martial is a top dude. So if Chelsea, let me be real with you, they'll still need to get signings. If Chelsea lose Hazard, but they keep Martial, they lose Hazard, but they keep Martial, that's all right. That's all right. Like, Martial has the potential to be one of the best players in the world. He's been ruined by Mourinho and United. I told you, Mourinho, man, he's my boy. I like his character and everything, but you're not seeing the best of Pogba. You're not seeing the best of Martial for as long as they are under Mourinho. And that's just the facts of the matter, man. So every show here is always about Hazard. Well, my dear friend, you do realize that is the biggest story happening right now. So how do you not talk about the biggest story right now? The biggest story right now is Real Madrid, the Champions League defending champions, trying to buy a player who many people consider was the best player at the World Cup. How the hell do you not talk about that story? It's the biggest story, which means that it has to be talked about. another story, payment into everything. That is what is garnering the most attention because it's flipping Hazard, a guy who I think is top three and who I believe has surpassed Neymar based on his experts at the World Cup. Come on, guys. I mean, come on. Use your brains, guys, please. Is Salah a one-season wonder? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing out there. Is Salah a one-season wonder? Because for me, as I said, Salah is not sniffing those stats next season. It's not happening. You know, there is no way he's sniffing those stats next season, man. And that's just why I wanted to know, like, is he a one-season wonder? Damien, don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say the Oyibo wall is over Varane and Umtiti. But I wanted to see what Salah does next season and just see how many goals he gets. Because for me, I don't believe that he's getting anywhere near 25 Gs. You know, I think there's no way he comes close to getting 25 goals. That is not happening at all. No way. So City playing at 2 a.m. Interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Martial or Sane? Come on, Martial all day. Martial all day. Like Sane is as good, guys. I mean, you guys really forget how much an amazing guy Martial. I mean, Martial is quality, man. Like Martial is a quality player. You know, so you guys are really sleeping on how quality this dude is. Um, so no. He's no no the guy is a quality player, man. Quality player. And I think and I was saying I was saying this for ages. Martial needs to force a move. He really needs to just force a move and say, look, bro, I need to leave United because I need to leave United to therefore um fully advance myself because Martial can be one of the best players in the world, but I think he needs a coach and a manager and a system that encourages him to be free, to be free, express himself. Can you really express yourself? No. Look, guys, I'm excited about this Vinicius Junior guy. How old is he? How old is this dude? I want someone to tell me how old is Vinicius Junior. I need to know his age. How old is Vinicius? 18. 18. Guys, do you know how scary that is? So this guy's like a young up and coming dude, and this is his first big move at 18. Some guy, I don't even know what his name is. Some guy at 19 just won a World Cup. I don't know what his name is, but there's a dude who's 19 years old that also scored in a World Cup final. I can't remember his name. Guys, do you know what his name is? It's this dude. I can't remember what his name is. There's his name. This dude. He's French. He's French. He's 19, and he scored in a World Cup final, and he scored 4 goals as well. I forgot what his name is, man. It's crazy. Look, no, I mean, if I remember, I'll let you guys know, man. But yeah, man, I don't know who he is. Giroud is a World Cup winner. Do you know how crazy that is? I don't think Giroud actually had any shots on target. Giroud is a World Cup winner, and the worst thing about this is that I can go up to Giroud and say, "You piece of brick," and all he has to do is just show me his World Cup winners medal. That's mad. That is mad. Because I told you, I put out there this hashtag the sixth horseman. That's all I put out there because again, and everyone like being a horseman is one of the most difficult titles to attain in football. And to repeat, to be a horseman, you have to have retired from the game. That has to happen. You have to first be retired from the game. Because I think in my Hall of Fame, I also need to put the legends there as well. So to become a legend or a horseman, you need to be retired from the game. To become a horseman, a World Cup winners medal is essential. That is essential. It is non-negotiable. I couldn't give a crap about what team you will play for. I could care less. And you need to make impact. It's the impact you had as a player. Those are so many criteria. So your quality, your talent, World Cup winners medal, and your impact on the game. How did you impact the game as an individual, and how did that impact the world? And that's huge. So that's why when you look at the five horsemen, they tick all those boxes. They have the quality, they made a huge impact, and they've walked a winning medal. Why isn't Iniesta a horseman? Iniesta did not impact the game globally. As an individual, he didn't have a huge impact as an individual on the footballing world because Iniesta was part of a great system. He was a part of a great team. He was a part of a great collective. So that's tough. Why isn't Bart Simpson a horseman? It's tough. It's tough, but I think again, impact is another thing. I don't think Bart Simpson had a great enough impact. Quality player. He's a legend, a true legend. But I don't believe he really impacted the game in the same way that other set players did. That's just my thing. He didn't really impact the game that all the other guys did. And I think and that's the thing because the impact. I think the impact thing is what a lot of guys miss out on. Obviously, guys don't have a World Cup medal, but a lot of guys they got a World Cup medal. They've got the skill level and talent, but it's that impact thing. Is that impact thing is huge, man. Because I tell you right now, see, like for me, the guy who I feel is closest to becoming a horseman is Neuer. Because if Neuer can get another Champions League, and maybe a Euro, see, that's horseman level because see, he has a World Cup medal, he definitely has the talent, and he's redefined how people keep. Like his impact as a keeper has been huge, based on sweeper keeper, being brave, coming out, and just really making goalkeepers a lot more mobile. So it's huge. Why isn't Xavi a thing? I think thing with Xavi is I keep saying things to people like I put Pierre over Xavi. Xavi was huge, a huge generation talent, but I do not believe that he individually stood out more than other dudes. That's the thing. I just do not feel that him as an individual he stood out more than other dudes, man. That's just my thingy. From Hardcore Barca TV, opinion: VAR is coming to La Liga. Well, for me, people have to get with the program. The VAR is coming, and we just have to accept it. We just have to accept it. I think once VAR comes, we have to accept it. And I think that it has to be cleaned up. And my thing with VAR is that so you're going to stop a game, slow the game down, look at the TV screen, and still give the wrong decision. I'm like, what the hell? Because this is what's happened with the whole Perisic handball. You stopped the game for 2-3 minutes to go there and to give the wrong bloody decision because it was the wrong decision. It was a wrong bloody flipping decision, man. So, that's my take. That's my take. So, my thing is this: VAR, I think, should come into La Liga. I think that as long as it's implemented well, I think it will help. But the danger is that there are some brick referees in La Liga, and I think there's some sketchy things. But in those key big games, Barcelona against Real Madrid, if VAR is used properly, You guys, you can't dive, man. You can't do any of these sneaky things because then you can go in, look at the tape. So you know what? I think VR coming into La Liga is very good because now you're going to be exposed. Because how many times have we seen a Barcelona Real game and we've seen dive after dive, faking and so forth, and they can use VR and say, "No, hey, look at this guy. This guy was faking. This guy was faking." So I think in that sense, it's huge. In that sense, it's definitely huge. Okay, let me just see what other guys are saying. Is PSG winning the Champions League this season? They will be contenders, but my fear is that Tuchel doesn't have the personality to manage the ego of Neymar and so forth. But that being said, Neymar can't look Mbappe in the eye. I mean, I'm sorry, Neymar, you can't be a diva. You got pimped. And Mbappe is a World Cup winner. So, like, that just changes things. What will Tottenham do this season? I'm not sure whether Tottenham come top four. I think maybe they come fourth or third. But I think Tottenham needed to try and get Bale. Without Bale, I think it's asking too much of them to now go ahead and get top four. But if Harry Kane pumps in those G's, maybe they get fourth. I think, or maybe third if United break it up. Um, Thoughts on AFCON 2019? I fear for the West African teams. I think the North African team may actually flourish because the West African and Central African teams for me they're not really pumping things up. Yeah, man, Desai was a true G man. What will Chelsea do this season? Hard to say, man, because it's all the dependent. If Chelsea keep Hazard, I do think that Chelsea will surprise a lot of people and will be the surprise team if they keep Hazard. If they don't keep Hazard, I think they may be impressed, they may be good in games, but ultimately they may just end up fourth of fifth. Maybe fourth or fifth if they don't have Hazard. I think with Hazard, Chelsea can surprise. Maybe second or third, but I just think City are just onto a high a level, man. Um uh, should Morata leave Chelsea? New manager, new system. Let's give it a go. At least till January. I think if you're Marcy, you'd be crazy just to leave. I think with a new manager, new set of ideas, new way of playing, maybe this will free you up and actually put you in a better light. It wasn't working under Conte. That just wasn't working. I think this is a new set of instructions. A new set of instructions. So maybe a more attacking offensive team where he has more support going forward and he doesn't really have to play as a lonesome target man. He does have options near him. Maybe that'll be of more benefit. So I just think stick with it until January at least. Um, where will West Ham finish this season? Under Pellegrini, I'll say eighth. I'll say eighth. No, eighth, man. Arsenal to get top three, doubt it, man. I strongly doubt it. Um, Juve with Bayern on the 26th. Maybe 2-1 Juve. 2-1 Juve. So yeah, okay, look, man. So about to head up, man. So maybe I'll keep you abreast of when the next live stream is gonna be. So for the guy who says that I keep talking about Hazard, Eden Hazard. There you go.